Hey guys, good to see you again. I have some good news. We have some amazing hero talent trees adjustments and some big class tuning. My Destro got some love. Let's see if yours did. Follow along with me and let's just run through this together. All right, guys, let's start knocking these out. Demon Hunter, you're getting a 10% buff on Death Sweep. Just increasing. These are all hero talent trees. They're adjusting hero talent trees, guys. So you're going to get a 15% buff on Reaver's Glaive, Warblade's Hunger by 55%, and a 5% buff on Query. So Aldrachi Reaver is going to be looking a lot better for Demon Hunter. You're getting the same attention on Vengeance, the same 30 and 55%. Feral Druid, guys, flat damage increased by 4%. We love to see it. There's no hero talent tree shenanigans on this one. You're getting that damage the whole 9 yards. 9 lives, you get all damage 9 yards, right? Arcane Mage, you're getting some damage buffs, but not in PvP, although this last one will stick. It's just a minor 5% buff on Arcane Blast and Arcane Pulse. Nothing too crazy so far. Fire Mage, they want to increase some single target damage. Not applying in PvP, so it is just an 8% on Pyro. Frost, they want to bring these hero talent trees closer in line again. So Frostfire's getting some attention, not in 5% buff, but not in PvP. Pyroblast damage increased by 25%. That will stick. Shatter damage bonus by up to 40% was 15. And then flurry damage bonus increased to 25%, up from 10. Very, very nice. Comet Storm damage bonus increased to 50%. So with these buffs, they are pretty substantial. We may see some Frostfire play now. But at the end of the day, Spell Slinger is the one with the extra Ray of Frost. So it's like, you know, it's bringing them closer in line, but how much closer is it really going to be, right? Ret Pala, looks like Herald of the Sun has been trailing behind Templar, so they want to bring it closer together again. So Wake of Ashes now causes the next 3 Holy Power spending abilities to apply Dawnlight was 2. Nice Dawnlight buff. This is my personal favorite playstyle in Ret, by the way, the Dawnlight play. Endless Gleam now extends Dawnlight duration by additional 0.5 seconds. When Divine Storm, so a minor AoE buff for Mythic Plus and Raid. That's fine. Priest, we're reducing the mana cost of core spells, so Priest can feel more comfortable casting Prayer of Healing and Flash Heal, particularly in Raid. Okay, it is fixed for Raid, but we're going to more than welcomely love that in PvP. You're getting flat mana reduction across the board. Very, very nice for longer output in PvP. We will take it. This is one of those prime examples where they're making a Mythic Plus change and it leaks into PvP just fine. All right, now we're going to be looking at Rogue. Rogue, the damage is below other hero talent options. So again, bringing the hero talent trees closer together. Now we are paying attention to Deathstalker, guys. Deathstalker's mark damage increased by 30%. That's very substantial. Clear the Witness now increases Phantom Knives damage by up to 60%. Was 40. Nothing too crazy there. Hunt Them Down damage increased by 25%. Corrupt the Blood now increases Rupture damage by 20%. Was 10%. That's good. There's some synergy nodes there. Darkest Night effect now increases Envenom damage by 35%, up from 30. Okay, not bad. Is it going to outweigh this flat damage buffs from the coin build? I'm not sure. We'll have to see how it plays out. Sub-Rogue. Deathstalker's mark, so they're getting the same Deathstalker treatment on Sub. Not quite sure if that's going to do it for the hero talent tree. Again, bringing it closer, but how much closer is at the end of the day? Now we're getting to the PvP talent or changes in a second. That's what we're really waiting on, baby, and it's about to get sick. I'm expecting some Destro Warlock buffs. You already know me, homie. All right. Shaman. Ancestral Spirits. Let's see here. Benefit from crit. Okay, that's good. That's good. Resto Shaman, we're adjusting some mana cost. Chain Heal, Healing Wave, Riptide reduced by 5%. Minor, but we'll take it. Arms Warrior, Colossus Performance, they're bringing them closer together again. So Mortal Strike and Slam damage increased by 25%, up from 15. Does not apply in PvP. Neither does the Mountain Thane, and neither do any of the protection buffs. However, PvP, here we go. Rolling the dice, baby. Whose main is getting smoked? Who's re-rolling and who stayed loyal and getting buffed? All right. Death Knight. Sangline Vampiric Strike damage increased by 30% in PvP. This is for Unholy. That sounds pretty substantial. You're going to have to let me know, guys. I'm not an Unholy main. I do not know what that ability is. It sounds like it's some type of healing leech ability. It sounds important, to be honest with you. Druid. Druid of the Claw. Ravage damage increased by 20% in PvP. Damn. Feral's getting some juice. 4% across the board with a nice 20% Ravage. Balance. Lunar Calling now increases Starfire damage by an additional 20% in PvP combat. Maybe get some nice big Starfire crits. We love to see it. Evoker. Preservation has pulled ahead other healers. Absolutely. Particularly due to their ability to withstand crowd control. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Due to their raw healing output, reducing some of their throughput capabilities. And also the uptime on Nullifying Shroud. Uh-oh. You cried and you conquered. Anytime you guys cry together in unison, that spec gets nerfed the next day. Holy smokes. All healing reduced by 5%. Now that is a slap on the wrist. Your throughput is just fine. Nullifying Shroud duration reduced to 3 seconds instead of 4. Ooh, you got off easy, homie. You got off easy. I was expecting them to take a whole charge off your ass or bring it down to a fade, like a 1 second fade. You got off easy, Prez Evokers. I'm going to tell you that right now. You got off easy. I would not cry, and I would let them think that's good enough, because it's not. In any case, Dream Breath instant healing reduced by 17%. A little bit on your massive Dream Breath AoE heals. No worries there. You made it out unscathed, in my opinion. Hunter. Survival has strong burst window with takedown, but outside of that, they're lacking. I agree. Here we go. We like to reduce the heavy burst of takedown and redistribute that power to compensate. Takedown damage reduced by 25%. Okay. Damage of spells and abilities increased by 6% in PvP. I like the 6% there, guys. I don't agree with them reducing your main burst ability when you just clearly said there's no consistent pressure. So why are you touching their main burst ability? But anyways, you should have just gave them the 6% damage like they did with Feral. In any case, no worries, but I am looking out for my survival mains. Fire Mage. Fire steady state damage adjusting Fireball to reward casting, and Meteor has been harder to justify picking up than we would like to in PvP. So Fireball and Frostbolt damage increased by 35% in PvP combat. That's the direction we want to see them take it for Fire Mage. So I'm liking it. Meteor direct damage increased by 30%. We might be getting back to them old school sub-fire Meteor one-shots. All right, but it's not quite there yet. 30% is going to be nice, but I wouldn't call it a one-shot just yet. Pala. Light's mana cost is more restrictive in PvP than intended, so we're adjusting Divine Favor to make it less punishing long-term. Divine Favor now reduces the mana cost of Holy Light by 30%, up from 10. Nice! 10% was absolutely disgusting. Stop messing with how Holy Palace divine favors, bro. We love our Divine Favors. We love the old-school Divine Favor where you actually were immune to silence for a second. It was sick. I can't believe they got rid of that. Anyways, at least they're giving you 30% mana reduction, which is more than appropriate in my opinion. Prot Pala, our damage reduced by 10%. It's no surprise there. You're amazing already as a slap on the wrist. Ret Pala. Let's see, we're adjusting Divine Extension, so a Divine Extension down from 75% was 150. That's a substantial nerf for that build or whatever that is for Templar. So we'll call it that. Holy Priest, reducing the mana cost, so more mana adjustments for Holy, and for Archon, Halo damage and healing increased by 25% in PvP combat. I'm getting real tired of them going back and forth with this Halo damage. Make it hit hard or make it not do anything. Pick your poison, Blizzard. Anyways, damage and healing increased by 25% in PvP. Mind Flay Insanity damage increased by 25% for Archon. Alright, Enhancement Shaman. Enhancements Burst, yep, you're a hot topic, has been hard to react during the cooldowns. For Maelstrom Weapon Bug, we're fixing an addition. We're toning down the haste gain from Shamanism to reduce the cooldown pressure from Shaman DPS specializations. What? You're gonna burn Ellie because of freaking Enhance? Are you out of your freaking mind? Bruh. Bloodlust and Heroism from Shamanism now increases haste by 15%, was 20%. We can't even take that shit now, god damn it. Anyways, I'm pissed about Ellie. I don't even main Enhance, but if that carries over to Ellie, I'm going to be very mad. Maelstrom Weapon blah, blah, blah. Elemental. Elemental is often relying on Ascendants for kills due to its high potential. Yes! These changes are intended to increase overall pressure while reducing reliance on cooldowns to score kills. I'm so excited. Bloodlust and Heroism. You better make it up to me right freaking now, Blizzard. Ascendance now increases elemental overload damage by 10% instead of 25%. Disgustingly unnecessary nerf. Jesus. Lava Burst damage increased by 15%. Woo! 15% Lightning Bolt. That's what we get for you nerfing the shit out of our major CD. That's 3 minutes? Bro. Whoever is playing Shaman at Blizzard needs to get behind the driver's seat again and actually take it for a test drive, because you have no freaking idea what you're doing to Shaman right now. You just gutted Ellie on accident, and you didn't give us enough consistent pressure in return. How dare you? Anyways, Affliction Warlock. This is my baby right here. Has been underperforming compared to Soul Harvester. Okay, so hero talents in line. Blackened Soul damage increased by 35%. We got our Blackened Soul back. Wither damage increased by 15%. Mark of Xavius, Blackened Soul deal 4% per stack was 2. All they did was revert the nerfs that we had prior, but don't get it twisted. That Wither is not stacking with our previous corruption buffs. With that being said, it's a very far cry. Those buffs are absolutely nothing. They're sinking into an already nerfed state. We're not going to be running that, boys, as Affliction, homie. Destruction. Woo! I told you I had some Destro buffs coming. Incinerate damage increased by 30% in PvP. Okay. Conflag damage increased by 60% in PvP. Now that's a heavy hitter. All right. And Ruination damage increased by 100%. What? Ruination might slap. All right. But we still got a hard cast Immolates on that hero tree. And it's going to be a very risky gamble. We're going to have to see how hard that actually slaps. If it hits for 300k, it might be worth it. All right. And then finally, we'll finish this off with Warrior. Berserker War's duration has been overly disruptive. Decreasing it should open up more options. Arms overall. So Berserker War duration reduced to 5 seconds. Absolutely unnecessary nerf to Warrior. Absolutely unnecessary. Arms. All damage reduced by 3%. That's expected, and you got off easy. A slap on the wrist. So with that being said, guys, a lot of hero talent trees are going back and forth. Glad to see Destro get some love. Feral made it out okay. All the top mains made it out okay. And now you've got some more flexibility with hero trees. We'll see how it pans out. I would say this is a pretty important update. I appreciate you guys coming by.